younger days when I was about 20 or 21, I think I did 300 behind the neck. See, I used to do that at the end of my pressing routine. I never did shoulders fresh. Thoughts on deadlifting once a week? Seems like any more is difficult to recover from if you have a physically demanding job. Yeah, I would only deadlift once a week, never anymore. A lot of guys deadlift once every 2 weeks. I've heard of people deadlifting twice a month. We don't have the same DNA as frogs, Father. The biggest bodybuilders train individual body parts. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I was just trying to make an analogy to try and, who are the biggest men on the planet? Generally, the world's strongest man competitors, right? And they don't do a lot of isolation exercises. Should you squat twice a week? You could squat twice a week, do a heavy and a light, but you're not going to be able to fit in a deadlift doing that. You're better off squatting once and then on your second workout doing a deadlift. Maybe you weren't listening earlier when I talked about the 4 day split. Day one is squat, quads, hamstrings, calves. Day two is bench press, chest, shoulder, triceps. Day three is off. Day four is deadlift, traps, lats, biceps. Day five is back to the bench press and more chest, shoulder, and tricep, but lighter weight, more reps. Because they were born big, that's not hard to work out. Well, depends what you consider big. I mean, I thank God I wasn't born like who's that little shrimp that's won the 212 Mr. Olympia 7 times? That little jerk. I mean, sure he's big, but he's not big. Dale's taller than 5'4". New Jersey Misfits, how's that bulk going? I lost 8 pounds, bro. I'm down from 304 to 296. So if you've gained more than 8 pounds, you're beating me. Flex Lewis, there we go. I mean, does Flex Lewis have a decent bench, a decent squat, a decent deadlift, or a decent bent over barbell row? Ronnie Coleman had all good lifts. Well, decent. Not good compared to a power lifter, but good compared to a gym rat or a bodybuilder. Leroy the man, I love the reverse hyper. One of the cool things about the reverse hyper is you can maintain a pretty decent deadlift without actually deadlifting if you do the reverse hyper at the end of your leg routine. Do your entire leg routine and then finish with reverse hypers. And the next time you want to deadlift, as long as you're fresh and fully rested, you'll have a pretty decent deadlift. All the muscles are going to be there. Yeah, maybe your technique won't be great because you're a little out of practice, but you'll be ready. If you maintain reverse hypers while squatting and doing a good leg workout, and your back routine is on point, like including barbell rows, heavy shrugs, stuff like that, um, you don't have to deadlift all the time. to deadlift a lot. Favorite rear delt exercise? One arm dumbbell row. You can ruin your rear delts with a one arm dumbbell row. But I like to put one hand and one knee up on a bench, on a flat bench, and make my back parallel to the ground. Put one knee and one hand on the bench, your other foot on the ground, and do your dumbbell rows that way so your back is flat. I see these little jerks that put a hand on the dumbbell rack and they have both feet on the floor. Anybody can dumbbell a huge dumbbell when you're barely leaning over and you got both feet on the floor. Try putting your knee up on a flat bench. You won't be able to do those big weights. Penny Lurson, did people bully you for being a Four Eyes growing up? No, these are just reading glasses. I've needed reading glasses since I turned about 50. I don't do a leg and back combo. I just gave you my 4-day split. That's the perfect split. It's created by the legendary 220-pound powerlifter Ed Coan. Coan. Ed Coan. I believe he's out of Chicago, Illinois. Trained at the legendary Quads Gym. Father looks like a 1959 doctor. I do look like I could be in a horror movie right now, don't I? Yeah, you can use a little body English on your barbell rows. Father, when was the last time you talked to Genova? Oh, God, it's been a long, long time. Yeah, put the 4-day split on a t-shirt. I hope I don't need that for you guys. I hope you guys are smarter than that. Levrone had a legit bench and squat. Yeah, Kevin was probably one of the strongest bodybuilders. He was a much better lifter than Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman's squat technique is atrocious. If you watch Ronnie Coleman squat, it's not hard to figure out why he's had so many hip surgeries. My body hurts just watching Ronnie Coleman squat. His technique is so terrible. Kevin Levrone is a good lifter. I have no idea what truck stop has the best food in the USA. No, no 7 hour live tonight. I might wrap this up at 30 minutes. We're at 24 minutes right now. Thoughts on my 7-day split? Push, pull, off, legs off, arms, core. You go in on a day and just do arms, that seems a little silly. Just doing arms, that goes against my tadpole theory that you should train the entire organism. I'd rather do my 6-day split, or it's 7 days if you count the off day. Legs push pull, then a lighter version of legs push pull off. Heavy legs push pull, light legs push pull off. There's a 7-day split for you. Ever done rack pulls on Molly like Lenny? No, I've never done Molly. Never want to either. Father, do you shower every day? I don't think I can answer that. I plead the fifth. Huh. Zach says I have a buyer interested in that gumball machine for 7 figures. Shit. I'll tell you what, I hate the American Cancer Society because of that. They would not uh, drop the charges. The person who owned that gumball machine was not the restaurant. It was the American Cancer Society, and they uh, they insisted on pressing charges. Order 66 on the American Cancer Society. Can't believe that's even on my criminal record. Sassy went on Lenny's live stream again. I don't know what to think about that girl. She's got some serious issues. She needs to get out of whatever city she's in. She needs to get out of there because there's nothing but bad people in trouble. And it sounds like the authorities are no better than the criminals. Which misfit would survive in prison? Oh, definitely Lenny. Let's petition the White House to get Jay a presidential pardon. It's just a misdemeanor. Those are basically really stupid. Pierce Brosnan, I don't even want to read that comment because since it involves gun violence, YouTube would demonetize this live stream in about 5 seconds. PJ Braun's dead lizard. Just a city boy born and raised in South Detroit. That's right. Lenny said he could bench 300 for 6. Give me a break. What's your favorite gumball flavor? I don't even chew gum. I think chewing gum is for people with low IQ. Yeah, technically there is no South Detroit. Detroit sticks out into the Detroit River, or the thumb of Michigan sticks out into the Lake St. Clair and the Detroit River. So due south of Detroit would be in the water. And the peninsula of Windsor, Ontario actually curls underneath Detroit. So if you went due south from Detroit, Michigan, the first foreign country you would arrive in would be Canada. Canada is south of Detroit. If you don't believe me, look on a map. Father, congrats on behaving lately. Yeah, I like being boring. Hmm. I don't want to challenge Lenny with anything monetary. I think that's rude to do to somebody who's not currently working. No, I've never seen